He looks in the mirror, he doesn't see handicap. Then he admits that yes, he's handicapped, but it's harder on him because he remembers life before he got hurt. Well, I got a call and I was asked what my son wore to school that day. And you didn't have to tell me. I knew he had been hit by a car. Gary was massively brain damaged. He went into the hospital at age 6.5. He came out at 8. When he came out, he was in a diaper, and I stayed home with him. And I worked with him from morning till evening. What you see is a miracle. He dances, he walks, he talks, he horseback rides. Someone else might not think that's success, but I do. I know what he was as compared to what he is. And yes, I devoted my life to him. I feel it was worth it. I'd do it again. I kept him home with me for 46 years. And when his daddy died, I was having difficulties and I couldn't care for him properly. Well, I knew I couldn't leave him alone in the house to find me dead. That would just kill him. So I knew I had to place him. The question was where. I really feel it's the best life that I could possibly give him, that I know he's safe and happy. And I think that JARC meets his needs. And I feel as though he lives as normal a life as he possibly could under the circumstances. And without JARC, I couldn't do all this for him. It's been a relief in that I know he has people that care about him. It's home. This is home now.
When he was very little, he thought he was invisible. He fit on the autistic spectrum. He moved constantly. He never slept. It was exhausting. It was always a battle to deal with trying to help him to make friends and help him to, socialize, and you end up being the best friend. I can't tell you how many adventures Ryan and I, my best friend, have had. I'm the one that won't go. I'm the one that is always there. So it's not easy, and you kind of lay your own life aside. And I had visions and heard stories about terrible things that happened to developmentally delayed people and in some places. You've all heard the stories, and I was frightened. When you see how people are, and you see what the future is going to be like, and the only thing standing between him and them is you, what happens when something happens to you? There's no words really to describe JARC. When you have seen other things, when you've looked at some of your other choices, there's no comparison. This is freedom. This is a loving environment. This is like family. So he feels like this is his home. I checked it out. I knew I couldn't afford it. I told him what my financial situation was, and they were kind, and I said, if you can help me, I'll do whatever I can. And they said, we can help you, and they took Ryan. What does JARC do for me? I can breathe again. I actually have a life now, too.
Everyone has a story, and Rachel's story is, quite sad. She came to us in unique and dire circumstances. She had no family. Her mother had just passed away. And someone that knew her reached out to JARC and basically asked and pleaded with us, what can you do? How can you help us? We received her in a state where her medical care was severely lacking. Her personal care and hygiene really was non-existent. And if she had not found us, she could have been one of those horror stories that fell through the cracks, and she'd be living on the streets. with the supports that we're able to provide, she has her own bedroom. She lives in a house with other residents, and they've become her family. She's always got a smile, and when she first came to us, she was scared and nervous, and rightfully so. She didn't know where she was coming. She had never lived in this type of environment before. It's quite evident in seeing her today how she has grown both personally and emotionally. She's a completely new person. She looks great, she feels great, she's taken care of medically now, and she has a life. JARC relies on the greater community in a way to assist us financially. Go to people such as her that have nothing and will allow her to stay at JARC really for the remainder of her life. Because it really does go right to the heart of why we're here. We're here to help people that can't help themselves. We would never want to say no due to a lack of money. Any chance that we can to raise money to provide the services so that we can provide to the Rachels of the world is what we ask for, and we're so grateful, and so is Rachel.